KHOU 11 starts right now with a weather impact alert.
And now at 8 o'clock, we continue to keep an eye on a huge winter storm stretching across most of the country into most of Texas. All the rain we've seen fall today expected to freeze over on the roads sometime overnight. Thank you for being with us on KHOU 11 Plus Chilly Saturday as we bring you this extended coverage for this winter storm. Hello, I'm Len Cannon.
Chilly is an understatement, especially come this time tomorrow. Good evening to you. I'm Mia Grady. We do have team coverage for you tonight with reporters spread out across the greater Houston area.
But first, Pat Cavlin and David Paul keeping a close eye on that freeze line. David, what's the latest?
Just to the north and west of Houston is where temperatures are dropping down to freezing. Right now, all of southeast Texas officially is above freezing, but it won't last too much longer. Current temperature, Hobby 38, Bush 38, Sugar Land at 40, and really these temperatures haven't moved much, not much more than a degree in the last 5 hours. Now, Brenham's down near freezing at 33. You've dropped several degrees in the past couple of hours. Huntsville's at near freezing at 33, and you've got some light rain coming down on the northwest side. Look at Texas. Just a winter mess as the storm wraps up. That's the storm in the center of it, just getting near and south of El Paso. So we've got many, many hours for it to get across before all this is done. Houston, it's green on the radar. That means it's liquid. Houston's at 38, Ellington Field 39, Galveston 44. It'll be Huntsville, College Station, Brenham, the northwest edges of the area that get our freezing precipitation first. Now, Huntsville showing 33, just above freezing, but you're getting rain. Bryan, College Station showing 33. College Station itself, our instrument there, has one above freezing at 33. Navasota 34. Brenham, one above freezing at 33. Brenham, it would not surprise me if this light freezing rain that's about to come into Giddings and LaGrange, by the time it got to you guys in Washington County, you were actually down at the freezing mark near 32. Future track between now and midnight tonight, that ice expands, temperature drop to and below freezing. We go into 3 a.m. and I think this is when we may see even some thunderstorms while temperatures are near or below freezing. If that happens, and where that happens, we would see significant icing in many spots, anywhere from Hobby to Bush to Tomball, downtown, Conroe to Huntsville. We go into 5 a.m., the east side getting rain and thunder with temps near freezing. And so, Pat Cavlin, that's where we stand on what's going to be a really dicey next 8 hours or so.
Yeah, and I think the precip's going to come down really heavy tonight. So I just want to back it up a little bit here to midnight. And this is when I think the worst of it will be across the area. Notice, though, it's a split. We've got green across the city, down to the south and east. And then we've got that pink indicating still rain, but freezing rain, which means you look outside and you see rain coming down outside your window, but it's freezing the second it hits the ground. I will urge a little bit of caution here. This, I think, model is running about a degree or two warmer than what's actually happening outside right now. And so there's a chance that the city could be flirting with the lower 30s by midnight. The longer we have temperatures below freezing, the more ice will be allowed to accumulate across the area. But I think it's a period of heavy icing here, especially around 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. Look at the areas where the temperatures are in the 20s. It's going to be raining in these spots. But that rain will be freezing the second it hits the ground. So you're talking about added weight to power lines, to tree branches, ice-covered roadways. So this is going to be a mess for us overnight into tomorrow morning. That moves to the city. We see some heavy icing to the east of town early Sunday morning, and then I think by 7 a.m. it shuts off and we'll actually break for some sunshine tomorrow. I think northern areas stay below freezing, Brenham, College Station, Huntsville, Livingston, but I do think the city will make it into the mid and upper 30s for tomorrow. So the worst arrives tonight. We could see significant icing northward. We're talking about over 3/10 of an inch of ice. And then once the storm is over, it's dangerous cold getting into Sunday night. Watch the temperatures here. So again, by tomorrow morning, 20s widespread across the area, even some lower 20s to the north. I think by the afternoon, though, we make it to the mid, maybe even upper 30s in a few spots, but northern spots stay below freezing. Check this out, though. By Monday morning, actual air temperatures in the teens to around 20. It feels more like the single digits to around 10 degrees. And for that reason, guys, weather impact alert continues into Monday morning for that deep freeze. That could be a pipe bursting freeze for some of us before temperatures turn warmer midweek. More details on this coming up in just a bit, guys. Len and Mia, send it over to you again.
You had our attention with potential for pipe bursting. Pat Cavlin, thank you.
Please no.
I know. Let's continue our team coverage now. Our reporters, they are positioned in the city and to the north and northwest tonight.
We start with Matt Doherty. He's in Huntsville in the weather tracker. Last time we talked, Matt, it was about 34 degrees there. Has it changed much, and what are you seeing?
Well, the weather tracker is telling us now that it's 32 degrees. It's pretty quiet out here in Huntsville, especially considering that it's a Saturday night in a college town. We're driving through the town right now, and I'm going to let you take a look at some of the roadways. Last hour we showed you what it looked like on the freeways. Residents here are staying home and they're staying off the roads. It's the same on I-45. We saw very few vehicles on the freeway this evening. And although it's not raining right now, those roads, as you can see, are still very wet, saturated from those storms that we saw here earlier in the day. Now, right now, we are keeping a close eye on that temperature, Lynn. Our weather tracker again showing 32 degrees. I think David said it was 33 degrees here from his reading. So we're still flirting with that freezing mark. We haven't gone below it yet. If it drops more and we start seeing some more rain or possibly some sleet, that could mean power outages for neighbors here in Walker County. Now, you may have wondered what's going to happen to the prison. What happens with the prison if the power does go out? I asked TDCJ that question earlier today. They say they've got lots of backup generators. They've got some maintenance crews who are hanging out on some of the units. So should anything go wrong, they say they've got that covered. Lynn and Mia.
All right, stay warm, stay safe up there, especially all of my Bearcats at Sam Houston State University. You literally drove past my old dorm there, Jackson Shaver Hall.
Mia was naming every block you were going by there, Matt. Thank you. Hey, let's check in now with Orko Manna, talking to folks in Conroe right now. Orko?
Well, Len, it's been raining on and off all day today, and right now it's kind of a light drizzle, a light mist right now, but that is causing slick conditions out on the roadways. Right now we're standing right in front of I-45, and the good news is that there hasn't been a whole lot of activity out here, not too many drivers on the road, and that's exactly what officials want to see. That's because of the potential for hazardous driving conditions overnight. All the water that's accumulated on the ground from the rain today will likely ice over if the temperature drops to 32 degrees or lower. Right now we're sitting in the mid-30s. Montgomery County Judge Mark KHOU posting on Facebook about 30 minutes ago saying that the freezing line is nearing the northern part of the county, warning of deteriorating conditions tonight and into tomorrow. And it's not just the roadways, the freeze can impact plants as well. Of course, one of the 4 Ps. We've seen some tarps out here covering up plants in an effort to protect them from the bitter cold. Now, the big message from officials is to head home if you are not home already. You want to make sure that you're hunkered somewhere safe right now heading into the overnight hours when, again, those freezing conditions are expected to hit. You don't want to be out on the roadways when that happens. So again, officials really stressing that to everyone tonight. And as I mentioned, we're not seeing a whole lot of people out right now, and that is good news. Reporting live tonight from Conroe, Orko Manna, KHOU 11 News.
Yes, glad everyone is at home for the most part and heeding the warning.
Yes, they are.
Orko Manna, thank you.
Everybody's at home.
Let's get to Maria Aguilera now. She's standing by in Cypress, where folks have been stopping at Buc-ee's.
Not even the cold can keep the faithful away. What's the flow of folks there, Maria?
Yeah, well, listen, it would keep me away if it could, because right now we are really starting to feel the drop in temperatures, especially when the wind hits. That's when you really feel it. But yeah, it's been busy here at the Buc-ee's in Cypress. People have been stopping by, fueling up, and also getting some snacks. I'm told some last minute things as they prepare to stay at home for a few days if needed. Now, the people that we've been talking to are just trying to get everything done right now before conditions worsen. And we did see that workers here spread salt on the sidewalks to prevent it from freezing so customers can get around. And they also have run out of firewood here. So it seems as if people are heeding the warnings. Now, I did speak with some who are ready to stay home for a couple of days if needed, and one local activist who's getting his home taken care of because he's going to be out helping some of the people in our community who need it most.
Yeah, we feed the homeless in Commerce every Sunday. So we'll have like hot coffee for them, hot meals, anything hot that we can give them, and if we have any surplus of clothing, blankets.
We did see lots of traffic here because we're right next to 290 earlier. Now it is starting to slow down. Of course, we are starting to see it as it gets colder. The rain has left some slick spots, and that is what drivers need to watch out for the most, because as it gets into the freezing temperatures, that becomes ice, even black ice, causing some dangerous conditions. So of course, we're still drizzling out here, and the temperature is just going to keep on dropping tonight. We'll stay right here and continue to talk to people, and we'll let you hear from some of them and how they're preparing to stay home tonight at 10. But for now, live in Cypress, I'm Maria Aguilera. Back to you.
Yeah, interesting to hear. People are still showing up looking for snacks and whatnot at a Buc-ee's. Of course they are. Maria, thank you. Also, several warming centers as a precaution open across the area.
Aniela Ruiz is live at the Fondy Rec Center that's near downtown Houston, where the mayor visited today. Aniela.
Well, that's right. The center was actually supposed to open at 5 p.m. today, but when the mayor arrived shortly after 4, saw that there was a line of about 50 people, he said, let's open the shelter now. Take a look. The mayor went inside and visited with a lot of the organizers here, thanking them obviously for opening the shelter early enough to get the people out of the elements. Now, the people who are here at the shelter, a lot of them have been picked up by HPD officers, and others just came on their own. But this will be a spot where people can come and get a warm meal. They can spend the night here. And also, people I've spoken with tell me they're grateful they finally have a place to go for these cold nights.
The police gave me a ride here. The police officer outside, they gave me a ride. They rescued me. The police rescued me. Got me and my dog in a safe place for these 4 days.
And just like you heard, Carlos, they are also taking in pets at many of these shelters. This helps people like him who says they only have their pets have a safe place for the night. Now, HPD officers will be here all day and night, obviously, at the shelter, making sure that everything stays calm. We also did speak with the police chief. He was out here. He tells us his crews that are out patrolling, they have socks, they have hand warmers, they have blankets ready to hand out for people who do not want to come to the shelter. But again, the shelter will be open here all night and for the next few days, hopefully keeping people safe. We'll send it back to you in the studio.
Taking care of Houstonians vulnerable to the cold. Aniela Ruiz, thank you. Centerpoint says they've done just about everything they can do to prepare for the winter storm. Tomorrow, they'll be focused on responding to any reported outages.
The way we identify how we go respond to these outages, our critical care facilities are number one. So our hospitals in the area, that's our huge priority. And from there, we'll prioritize outages with the largest number of customers to the smallest number of customers. You know, the one thing I want to share with our customers is we understand how important electricity is to our customers' everyday lives. Any outage is more than they want or we need. And so the one thing we're committed to, if you do experience an outage, we are going to be working day and night to get every single customer back on.
Knowing that we have 3,300 workers assembled here, we've brought in these extra crews. We fully anticipate to be able to restore customers across our system within 12 hours or less. So that will be our goal tomorrow. That's based on weather forecast. Things come in stronger. We will obviously, that will impact things. We're expecting more impacts in the north of the territory, north of the city. As you get closer to the coast, it'll obviously be warmer, and so we anticipate less impacts. But we have these crews pre-positioned across the city to be able to do this type of work, and we're committed to making it right for our customers.
So there you have it. They are promising that if you do lose power, that they'll get to you 12 hours or less. Hopefully it won't come to that. Well, during our 6:30 streaming show, we talked with KHOU 11 energy expert Ed Hers as he explains how winter weather can affect what we pay for energy. Just want to clarify something. So you said earlier, so forget about losing power. Let's say all is well. Yeah. But because of the stress on the system, because of the cold, eventually you think we'll end up paying more for this, just like we did after 2021.
Oh, absolutely. We can see the pricing in the wholesale market. And so we're thinking about two different things. One is ERCOT, which manages the generators and the distribution of electricity across Texas. And ERCOT sends electricity to CenterPoint. CenterPoint gets it to our homes. CenterPoint is really just the the local carrier, the
conduit,
the DoorDash, if you will, for the electricity to your meter. And ERCOT manages the generators. NRG, Vistra, Calpine, Constellation calls them on, and right now they're making a huge amount of money.
Okay, doing what they're supposed to do.
That's what we pay them to do.
I got you. You can find our entire interview with Ed Hers on KHOU 11 Plus that aired at 6:30 today.
New tonight, we spotted public works crews making emergency repairs to a water main break along Chimney Rock near Westheimer. We told you about this yesterday when neighbors told us they were worried about the water freezing over this weekend. Public Works told us yesterday they have more than 500 active leaks across the city, and they're working as fast as they can to make repairs. Let's take a look now at the winter storm across the state. This is video from a crew at our sister station in Dallas as they cross the Woodall-Rogers Freeway Bridge just outside of downtown Dallas late this afternoon. Now, I've crossed this one a couple of times myself, not in conditions necessarily like this. Listen closely. You'll hear ice pellets hitting the windshield. A reminder to keep it 10 and 2 on the steering wheel at all times. This is no matter where you are in the Lone Star State this weekend.
That's an eerie look right there. And check this site in Texarkana. Ice accumulation on power lines there, causing a breaker to explode. There it is. Local news crew happened to be in the neighborhood when they saw sparks flying several times. Thousands of people are already without power in that part of Texas tonight. And back to our team weather coverage with Pat Kavlin and David Paul.
Dave, you're closely tracking the freeze line. Where is it now?
Just reaching our northwest counties. You can see on our temperature map, Huntsville's at 33, Brenham at 33, so just a degree above freezing here. You get a little bit further northwest and you drop to freezing, and that's where we're beginning to get a little bit of sleet and freezing rain. Bush 38, Hobby 38, Galveston hanging on to 43 right now, Cleveland at 35. There's the Arctic front, which has opened the door to the cold air to come down. The coldest air has been in north and west Texas, where San Angelo's 15 degrees, Austin now 25. There we are at 38, but the colder air is going to push in as the front pushes out, and that cold air is undercutting a storm system that's coming in from the west. We have a north wind, that's what's bringing in the cold air. Hobby at 12, north wind at 15, Sugar Land, Galveston north wind at 20. Wharton's got a north wind at 15, making it feel like it's near the freezing mark or even below right now, even though we're all above freezing. Here's the big map. There's that Arctic front. So that's allowing the cold air to come on down, but that cold air is right at the surface, so it's undercutting the upper level low, the main parent storm system that's coming in from the west. And so that's the perfect setup. Cold air in place, upper level system coming in from the west. And the result is a winter storm across the state of Texas right now. We've been watching the ice, the sleet, and the snow expand across central and north Texas. Dallas has been getting sleet for the past 5-6 hours. It looks like a lot of it now trying to turn over to a little bit of snow as well. And you saw that even before sunset, many of their bridges were getting iced up and becoming hazardous to travel. A little further to the west of Houston, Austin at 24. San Antonio at 29. They're getting widespread freezing rain now in San Antonio, sleet in Austin, and at those temperatures, everything is sticking. So travel up and down the I-35 corridor is becoming a mess. Green, that's all liquid rain across southeast Texas so far, but you can see what's coming in here from the west-southwest. That will coincide with a drop of temperatures in our north and west counties. And let's zoom in out here. So Huntsville officially 1 above freezing, but you're flirting with it now, Huntsville. College Station 31 and Bryan 31. Giddings at 27, getting some light frozen mist. LaGrange frozen mist and 29. So Pat Kavlin, this is where we stand right now, right on the edge of the precipitation and the sub-freezing temperatures pushing into the western counties.
Yeah, and here's the problem, Dave. Look at this. The model is not picking up on just how heavy or how widespread that precipitation is. And it's also overdoing some of these temperatures. Otherwise, though, it actually looks like it's doing a good job with Huntsville, Brenham, and College Station. That cold air, though, is really going to crash in here pretty fast as we go through the overnight. And so I do think everybody goes below freezing for a good period of time here. We could see a long period of time with some heavy frozen precip. There's 10:30 tonight. I think it's freezing rain accumulating in Brenham, College Station, and Huntsville at this point. Columbus, you get in on the action as well. By midnight, I think it starts to creep into northwestern Harris County. These temperatures, take with a grain of salt. If we're a degree or two warm, that means that we're already seeing some frozen precip in these areas. Just keep that in mind. But I think it's 28, 29, 27 degrees here north and west of town with heavy rain falling and freezing on contact. So a lot of ice accumulation possible if we get this into the area. I think the worst of it comes between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. I mean, could even hear some thunder and see a couple of lightning strikes. That's how heavy this will be moving through the area, and with temperatures below freezing, again, it's all freezing on contact. So a really, really rough period through the overnight for us. And again, the heavier that comes down, the faster it accumulates. The more it accumulates, the more likely it is that we see some spotty power outages and some tree branches and tree limbs coming down across the area. By 5:30 in the morning, I think north and west areas start to dry out. The city are still dealing with a couple of light showers. The heaviest of it is to the east. And then eventually by 7 a.m., it's gone. And as we get into the afternoon tomorrow, I think it's mid-30s for us with lots of sunshine. I do think we'll stay below freezing to the north, but look at it down towards the coast. We could actually make it up to about 40, 41 degrees. Ice accumulations still to come look decent across the area, especially once you get, again, north and west of the city. But notice what Future Track here is doing. It's actually printing off some pretty high totals, 0.2 to 0.3 inches. I know that sounds like it's not a lot, but these are enough to cause some major disruptions here, especially as you get into northwestern Harris County. So whenever you're at a trace to a quarter of an inch of ice, it makes for dangerous travel. Power issues are minimal. It's really when you get above a quarter of an inch of ice that we see travel become impossible. You start to see some tree damage, and then you also start to see power outages. And above 3/4 of an inch of ice is when it becomes a little more catastrophic. Widespread tree damage, widespread power outages, power being out for days and days and days on end as the infrastructure is actually physically damaged from the ice. I think we're going to be in the trace to quarter-inch range, and some spots may slip into this category just above a quarter of an inch, but I really think the higher totals go to our north as we get into the overnight and tomorrow. So icing confidence tonight is at least in the moderate to high category. Road closures may become an issue, especially north of the city if we see enough icing. Power outages, same deal. And then behind this, the hard freeze becomes the huge issue. And that hard freeze is going to be a big problem if we end up losing power. So what you can do to prepare: charge mobile devices now. Make sure that you're going into tonight with a fully charged phone and laptop. Stay off the roads and make sure that you're wrapping and protecting those pipes, because if we lose power, this becomes a pipe bursting freeze for some areas. By the time we get you into Monday morning, we're talking about air temperatures in the teens to about 20 degrees and feels like temperatures dangerously cold in the single digits. So really dangerous stuff here, Dave. Fingers crossed that we stay above freezing.
And we're just not used to temperatures in the teens and wind chills in the single digits. That is interesting. That's the coldest I've seen the wind chill so far. That must have just updated. So prepare for a very cold day as we head into Monday morning. Potentially some refreeze. Also a very cold, anything that's liquid left on the bridges could refreeze going into Monday morning. That's why we leave the weather impact alert up through Monday. Hard freeze in the morning. Sunshine gets us to 40 Monday afternoon. That should evaporate all moisture that's left on the bridges. And so although we have a freeze Tuesday morning, 26, we won't have any refreeze and travel will be much better. We moderate temps, although we stay a bit chilly Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Then we get cold again, with a rain chance and temps dipping into the 30s and 40s as we head into the first part of next weekend. We are having ourselves another real winter like we did last year about this time. All right, guys, back over to you.
We certainly are, and all I can think is we're not built for this.
No, we're not.
All right.
That's why we keep warning you.
We'll make it through it, though, all together. Thanks so much, Dave.
All right, back with a live picture over the roads right now. Plenty of slick spots out there because of the rainfall today, which is why TxDOT has been busy spraying the highways, focusing on bridges and overpasses they can ice over first. After today's rain, they'll have to go back and retreat some of the priority areas, especially along I-10, the 610 loop, and Highway 290. Now, if conditions worsen and ice does begin to build up overnight, TxDOT says crews will switch to spreading a gravel and salt mixture to help break up ice and create traction. Now, this is primarily for emergency vehicles to still get through. Officials stress even if you see gravel on the road, it does not mean conditions are safe for normal travel.
Going to be rough tomorrow and Monday and possibly Tuesday. So if you don't have to drive, please don't. We have our first responders that have to be out there. We have our news crews that, are going to be out there. So if you can avoid travel, let's just clear the roadways completely.
TxDOT also reminding drivers to give those TxDOT convoys space while they are working. Oh, and by the way, you don't need ice for the roadways to turn dangerous in Houston.
Katara Winfrey, she's telling us about the other accidents we already saw today with just rain. Plus, she shares how Metro is adjusting its service. It's just one of the many stories you'll find on our Instagram page right now.
Hopefully you have everything that you need and you are hunkered down nice and warm inside your home. And that's important because you definitely don't want to be on the road. Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez is already reporting that there's been several serious accidents along the roadway, and we haven't even gotten to the really icy, treacherous conditions that we are anticipating. But also for those who do not drive and they typically rely on Metro here in Houston, it's important to know that Metro is shifting some of its availability. So the Metro rails will be running to some capacity, but starting today through tomorrow, as well as Monday, bus services, curb-to-curb services will be suspended, and those Metro lift services will only be used for life-saving needs. So it's really important that you map out your routes, map out what's available to you, but if you can, just stay in the house. That's the messaging you're getting from emergency officials, city leaders, and county officials.
Thank you, Katira. Now, if you were planning on flying out of town or picking up someone from the airport tomorrow, you need to check your airline. According to FlightAware, there are already 387 flight cancellations at Bush Airport for tomorrow, along with 72 flights canceled at Hobby. Houston Airport System says it is treating their runways and roads in the hopes of keeping planes moving, but travel impacts could also vary depending on where you're going or where the flight is coming from. Because again, this winter storm spans several states. Passengers we caught up with at Bush Airport today are doing their best to just go with the flow.
Like I'm looking for a hotel because I'm not going to sleep on the floor. And he said it'll be tomorrow evening before we can get out, maybe Monday. I figure there's professionals out there that'll make this stuff happen, but only God knows what can happen out there. So we'll get home when we're supposed to. You know what? Life hands you lemons. I make lemon meringue.
I like that. That's sweet. Lemon meringue. Again, check with your airline for the latest on your flight and give yourself extra time to get to the airports if you are still headed out of town over the next few days. Heads up, you may not realize this, but extreme cold temperatures can have a big impact on your phone.
You're saying, okay, how does that happen? Sure, Mercedes shows us how to protect your phones this weekend.
It gets so hot in Texas, you've probably seen this alert more than once. Your phone needs to cool down before you can use it again. But heads up, extreme cold can do the same thing. So AT&T says freezing temps can cause your phone to lock up, drain faster, or power down completely. So if you're heading outside for some reason, here's how to protect it. Keep your phone in a bag or coat pocket, close to your body heat. Don't leave it exposed in your car. Use a waterproof case to guard it against cracks, drops, and moisture. If your phone does get too cold, let it warm up to room temperature before turning it back on. Powering it up frozen can damage that internal computer. And if you're looking to stretch that battery life so you can stay up to date on the latest winter updates and, of course, not get bored, turn it on low power mode. Dim your screen and close those unused apps.
Thank you, Cheryl, with that helpful information. You can find more of our winter storm coverage on our Instagram page, including airport preps, TxDOT updates, and the latest forecasts, all in one place. Let's jump outside. Another look outside, a live look toward downtown Houston from our Gulf Freeway camera. It is slow go and not very crowded.
Thank goodness, and we're thankful for that. And we hope to see fewer and fewer cars as the night goes on, because it's going to get colder and colder as the night goes on in that freeze potential day.
Especially after midnight for the Houston area, between midnight and 6 a.m., we could get a lot of ice in Houston.
You should be home by then.
Let's hope so.
I don't think he's going home till Tuesday.
I'll be somewhere. All right, I wanted to show you this. San Antonio, a lot of freezing rain, 28. Austin, lots of sleet, 24. So that's out to the west. Houston, we're above freezing, but not by much. It's a light rain now in downtown. And then to the north and west. So Huntsville, 33, above freezing, so it's green. Where it drops to 31 below freezing, it turns pink. That's your freezing rain out there. You can see the freezing rain Giddings to LaGrange. Now, Brenham, Washington County showing 33, but by the time that little pink area of light freezing rain gets to you, I think you'll be down to 32, so get ready. We're going to begin to see icing in the northwest counties as we get to the next couple of hours. This is the map between now and midnight. Northwest side, Brenham, College Station, Huntsville, icing on bridges and overpasses will begin to happen pretty quickly now. Downtown Houston, Harris County gets worse going into 3 a.m. Temperature dropping to near freezing. It'll stay like that through 5 a.m. The heavy is pushing off to the east by 5 a.m., but still light freezing rain across the area, icing up bridges and overpasses. And then by 7 a.m. it ends, and I think the sun may come out late tomorrow afternoon.
The sun will come out tomorrow.
Bring
Very
it.
good. Very good.
That's encouraging.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us on KHOU 11 Plus tonight. This is one of the many places you can find us as we navigate this storm. Also scan the QR code on your screen right now to download the KHOU 11 app. In the meantime, stay safe out there.
Yes, and we'll see you back on TV. That's tonight at 10.